What's up, y'all? Welcome back. I'm the Sovereign Woman. Subscribe, like, share. I like to talk about being child-free, anything that's woman-centered, and self-love, self-journeying, things of that nature. So I decided that I wanted to start doing story times to tell you guys all the horrendous things that I have witnessed in my life. The horrendous friends that I have or have had in the past. Married men who cheat. There's so many stories. Like, I have 1,000,001 stories. This first story I'm going to start out with because I just thought about it this morning, and there was a song that came on, and it reminded me of this guy that I was friends with. We're still friends, but we live on two separate sides of the country now. But it reminded me of him, and I thought about the last story he told me when I talked to him, which was like in the beginning of 23. And y'all, listen, this is a lot. Okay. So this man has been married for 30 something years now, because when I first met him, he had already been married for like 18 years. This was like in 2010. So add 14 years on to that, right? And he told me the last time I talked to him that his wife found out he was cheating on her in 22. And I was like, oh shit. Now, according to him, he'd been cheating on this woman the entire time they were married from the very beginning. He just got caught in 2022, according to him. Okay. So I was like, okay, what happened? He said she was trying to divorce me, blah, blah, blah. I said, what happened? He said, oh, she went through my phone. She saw text messages, blah, 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 blah. My first thought was, is it that married woman? And he laughed and he said, yeah. Because when we were friends, when I used to live in California, he told me about a time that he was cheating with a married woman. She was cheating on her husband because he wouldn't touch her or something like that. Whatever it was. He was going through ED or whatever it was. I don't remember. But they had been. And when I met him, it was in like 2009, I think, or 2010. And he had already been seeing that woman beforehand. And when me and him got cool, he started telling me all the tea about her husband, her situation, all that. Just venting, really. And so I said, it was a married woman, ain't it? And he's like, yeah, after he laughed. I said, what happened? He said, my wife saw the text messages, saw hotel purchases on his credit card receipts and all that stuff. And so I said, so what did you do? He said, it got really bad because she wanted to divorce me. So I suggested that we go to marriage counseling. I said, you suggested marriage counseling? Because I understand that most men don't believe in marriage counseling. They don't want to go. Most of them know they're not going to change. They think it's a waste of time. But they will go if they can use that as leverage to get a woman to stay. That's the one time men would suggest marriage counseling. Under any other circumstances, they don't want to go to fucking marriage counseling. And that's pretty much all men. I don't care who you talking to. They don't really want to do that shit. They will, though, in order to keep you from leaving. So anyways, I joke with him and I'm like, you wanted to go to marriage counseling? What? Right? So they go to marriage counseling. And so he said they were going for like 6 months or 5 months or something like that. Half a year, somewhere around there. And I said, so how is everything going now? And he said, oh, things are good. She's good. She's not finding things in my phone anymore. She's not asking me questions anymore. I think she's good. So I'm looking at him because we're FaceTiming. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, he's like, why are you looking at me like that? And I was like, I feel there's a but coming. Like, what? But what? Right? He's like, there's no but. I said, and I'm looking at him and he's like, well, you know, I'm not going to stop seeing old girl. I can't think of what her name is, but I'm not going to stop seeing her. And I was like, but y'all in marriage counseling, you said things are going good. So basically he gets to the point where he tells me that the reason why she's not seeing anything in his phone anymore is because he got a whole nother phone that she doesn't know about, that she keeps. Oh, it's a plane going by. It just took off too. I love watching planes take off. But anyways, she's going through his phone. She's not seeing anything because he keeps an entirely different phone that she knows nothing about in his locker at work. And he tells this side chick, the wife, Oh, the side chick that's also married, and whatever other women he's talking to, don't call my normal number anymore. Call this number from now on. So he worked Monday through Friday. So on the weekends, if the girls were to call, they know to leave a message or a text message or whatever, and they know he's not going to see it until that following Monday. I'm sitting here like, why am I not shocked, right? Then I said, what about like credit card statements and all that stuff? He's like, oh, she doesn't see any of that anymore because I mean, you know, I'm not going to use my credit card for that shit no more. I'm going to use cash. It gets worse. Then he said, and I forgot how we got on the subject, but somehow we segued into him talking about how he leaves, or he was leaving the counseling session because they would go in separate cars because he would get off work before her or something, and they would meet up there during their counseling sessions. So either before he got to marriage counseling or shortly after he left, he would go see that woman. This is the type of shit that make me not trust men at all. And this is why I always say men don't stop cheating. You got your wife believing that you turned over a new leaf and that you're changing and that you care about your marriage and whatever else. And you're doing everything you can to not get caught. Even though you're not going to stop cheating. Like, and don't get me wrong. This sounds like he's a bad person. And I don't really feel like he is, but he just solidifies to me that men don't fucking change. He was facing losing his wife, because I remember some years ago when I talked to him about why he cheats, because I don't give a damn who you are. If you're my friend or a family member and you're a guy, I am going to ask you why you cheat, because I was going to write a book about this when I was a teenager, because I wanted to know why men get married if they're going to cheat. And they used to always tell me stuff like, oh, you're young, you won't understand until you get older. But it's like, whatever. So anyway, I asked him some years ago, like when we first became friends, I was like, you know, why are you cheating on her? I said, does she like not give you what you want? Like what is it? He told me that her sex drive is not as high as his. He has a very high sex drive and she doesn't. So I was like, was she always like that? Or was it better in the beginning and then it got worse after y'all got married? He said, no, to be honest, she's always been like that. I said, so why did you marry her? And he was like, because she's a good person. Like she's a good mom. They got one child together. She's grown now though. She's a good mom. She's a good homemaker. She's a good person. She's funny. She's all these things. And he said, I figured I could get past the different sexual appetite thing. I could get past that. But he said over the years he realized he couldn't, so he just had to supplement outside of the home. And some years later when we talked about it again, I remember him telling me that's not something that he's ever going to leave his wife over. Like, he's not ever going to leave her for that. Because there's too many other great qualities about her for him to leave. But he's just going to stay in the marriage and get his shit on the side. And I always tell any of my male friends or my male cousins or whoever I'm talking to, see, this is why I always say men ain't shit. And they always laugh at me and say, no, it's not like that, blah, blah. No, this is why I don't trust y'all. This is why I'm never getting married. Oh, please, you'll get married one day. No, the fuck I'm not. Because can you imagine being this man's wife, or any just being a wife in general, and finding out sooner or later, because she's going to find out, I think, that your husband, he never stopped cheating. He got a burner phone that you don't know about to contact his side chicks. He's still seeing the woman. He's not going, he's not coming to marriage counseling to actually work on the marriage. He's doing it to satisfy you and shut you up or whatever, but not because he actually cares. Like, can you imagine just, I don't know. I haven't talked to him since, because we were FaceTiming, or whatever, but this was in like the beginning, going into the spring of last year. I actually haven't talked to him since, because me and him usually talk a lot. He stays way on the West Coast. I'm in the Midwest, right? So, you know, we just don't talk as much as we used to. But he'll call me eventually and text me like, hey, I just wanted to see if you're still alive and see how you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And we're still cool. But this is the type of shit that I be trying to tell women. Is like, these men don't change. They don't stop cheating. They just find slicker ways to not get caught the next time. They will go to these type of extreme extents to hide everything about themselves. They will do all of that except change. They will do anything but change, literally. And so that's just a quick story time that I wanted to start out with under my When Married Men Cheat series that I'm thinking about doing, because I got 1,000,001 stories that y'all are going to be like, what the fuck? Now, I know a lot of y'all know the what men are capable of, what the extents that they will go to. Y'all know. But when I tell y'all, I got stories for days, for weeks, for months of stuff that when I think of them, as I think of them, I will come tell you guys. Things that I've experienced, things all the time somebody called me about they man and whatever else. And I'm like, girl, I didn't even know you existed. Like, I got so many stories like that. But anyway, I just wanted to kick it off with that one. Leave your comments below. Tell me some stories that y'all know about. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.